We've all been there, right? You're juggling homework, you've got a group chat blowing up on your phone, and maybe you have a video streaming in the background. It feels like you're some kind of productivity genius. But what if I told you that multitasking is basically a myth? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see what's really happening inside your brain when you try to do it all at once.
So, let me just ask you straight up. Do you think you're a good multitasker? Can you actually write that essay, text your friends, and follow a show? And do all of it well? Just, be honest with yourself for a sec.
And hey, if you said yes, you are definitely not alone. Most of us, myself included, like to think we're amazing multitaskers. It feels efficient. It feels busy. It feels productive. But the science, well, for decades, scientists have been looking at this, and they found something completely different. And what they found might seriously change the way you study and work forever. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of what's actually going on inside your head. This isn't about my opinion or your opinion, it's about the hardwired limits of your brain. It's time for a little reality check. This right here, this is the key to the whole thing. Our brains don't actually multitask, they task switch. Think of your focus like a spotlight. It's bright, it's powerful, but it can only shine on one spot at a time. So when you think you're multitasking, that spotlight is really just jumping back and forth, super fast. And every single time it jumps, there's a price to pay. Here's another way to think about it that I really love. Imagine your attention is a single-lane bridge. Only one car, or one conscious thought, can cross at a time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. And you're right. Your brain is great at handling an automatic task, like walking, while doing a conscious one, like talking. But it absolutely cannot handle two conscious tasks, like solving a math problem and writing a text, trying to cross that bridge at the exact same time. One of them always has to stop and wait.
So what? Your brain is task switching, not multitasking. Why does that even matter? Well, it matters because every single switch comes with this hidden tax. It's a penalty on your time, your focus, and your mental energy. And that tax just keeps adding up with every notification, every new tab, every single little distraction.
Okay, get ready for this number because it's pretty wild. Research has shown that all this task switching can cut your productivity by up to 40%. Let me put that in perspective for you. For every single hour you spend working, you could be losing almost 25 minutes just to the mental lag of jumping between things. It's a massive, invisible time drain. And this quote from scientists who study this stuff, man, it just hits the nail on the head. That feeling you get of being super busy and getting so much done while you're juggling a million things. It's pretty much an illusion. The reality is your work is slower and the quality is worse. You're actually making more mistakes, even little ones you don't catch right away. So this isn't just some theory from a science lab. This is something that's happening in your life every single day, especially when it comes to school. Let's look at a couple of examples that are probably going to feel very familiar. Ah, yes, the classic. Trying to do homework while your phone is right there. On the left is what we think is happening, this smooth, seamless blend of math and texting. But on the right, that's the messy truth of what's happening in your brain. It has to load all the rules for algebra. Then, to answer a text, it has to completely dump all of that to load the rules for texting, spelling, grammar, social context. Then, to get back to the math problem, it has to drop the texting rules and try to reload the math stuff all over again. Every jump creates a delay and makes it way more likely you'll make a mistake. Now let's talk about where this goes from just being inefficient to being flat-out dangerous. Texting and driving. This isn't about getting your homework done anymore. This is about safety. That single-lane bridge in your brain simply cannot handle two complex decision-making streams at once, the stream for driving and the stream for texting. One has to wait, and when you're in a car, a delay of even a split second can be, well, I know some people hear this and think, yeah, but I'm different. I'm actually really good at it. Well, take a look at the data. A famous study identified a tiny group of people they called supertaskers. That's only about 2.5% of the population who could actually handle a second task while driving without their performance tanking. For the other 97.5%, and that is almost everybody, driving ability gets significantly worse. The odds are just overwhelmingly not in your favor. Okay, let's bring it back to the classroom for a second. Have you ever been sitting in class, maybe you sneak a quick look at your phone, and then suddenly you realize you have absolutely no idea what the teacher just said? You might think, oh, my memory is so bad.
But here's the thing. It's probably not a memory problem at all. It's an attention problem. Your brain's spotlight was on the phone, which means the information from the teacher never really got in. You can't remember something that you never really heard in the first place.
All right, so the science is pretty clear. Multitasking is a myth, and task switching is inefficient, and sometimes it's even dangerous. So that's the bad news. But here's the good news. You can absolutely fight back. You can learn to work with your brain's natural design instead of constantly fighting against it.
So, how do we actually do this? Here are a few strategies that are proven to work. First, just embrace single tasking. Try something like the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes and promise yourself you'll only work on that one thing. No interruptions. Second, build yourself a fortress of focus. Turn off all the non-essential notifications. Better yet, when you really have to study, put your phone in a totally different room. Seriously, out of sight, out of mind really works. Third, try batching your distractions. Instead of checking your phone every 2 minutes, set aside specific, short breaks to catch up on everything. And finally, think about your environment. If you like music, try instrumental stuff. Lyrics can actually compete for your brain's language centers, which makes it even harder to focus on what you're reading or writing.
When you really boil it all down, it comes to this. In this world we live in, which is just designed to distract us, your focused attention is probably the most valuable thing you own. It's the currency you use for deep thinking, for learning, for creating anything cool. So the question really isn't if you can multitask. We kind of know the answer to that. The real question is, now that you know, where are you going to choose to invest your attention?